During today's presentation, information will be provided on our district's ELL population, their diverse backgrounds, the challenges they face, and how we can support them in our classrooms. Typically, during our in-person training, we would lead a conversation to see who recognized any of these terms. Instead, I'm just going to give you a quick review of them so you have an understanding of the different acronyms and their meanings, because it's likely you will be hearing them during meetings or conversations with your administrators and colleagues. We'll begin with the term ELL. This stands for English Language Learner and refers to the students who are enrolled in the district's ESL program. ESL is English as a Second Language and refers to the district's program. LEP is Limited English Proficiency, and this also refers to the students. This term is often used interchangeably with the ELL term, and it stays with students for 2 years after exiting the program. WIDA is a design program that implements standards and assessments specifically for English language learners. SIFE is Students with Interrupted Formal Education, and SEI is Sheltered English Instruction, and this refers to the methods utilized to provide instruction to English language learners. You may hear this referred to as SIOP or fabric strategies, and we'll briefly discuss some of these in today's presentation. How do we identify our Ls? While our district uses a variety of measures to identify English language learners, they are primarily identified by test results. Students are identified through the Access for L's English Language Proficiency Assessment, which is administered yearly. Additionally, home language surveys are utilized at student registration, and students are screened to determine if there is a need for testing. Now you can identify any L's in your classes by logging into the real-time student system. You will see purple icons to identify English language learners. Students who have exited the program will have a purple icon that looks like this. Exited students are monitored for 2 years, and teachers need to be aware of these students because they may continue to need language supports in the classroom. If they are currently enrolled in the ESL program, you will see this icon in the top of the screen that says ELL. If you click on the green document icon that looks like this here, where you can view student documents, you should be able to access the student's most recent Access for L's assessment result. Those assessment results will look like this. Students' English language proficiency is determined by the Access for L's assessment. A student score report looks like this. Students are tested in the 4 language domains: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Testing results are reported in each domain, and students can score from a 1 to 6. You can see each domain score here, and there is also an overall score at the bottom. At the very bottom of the page, you will see a breakdown of the overall score in each domain, and it will provide you with a little information about their abilities and proficiencies within each domain, and that looks like this. To help you better understand the Access for L score report, this is an attached PDF document that you may find helpful. It connects students' language abilities with each performance level or score from 1 to 6. It will be helpful when looking at Access score reports and determining students' abilities and needs. It can be downloaded at this link. So here are a few things to ask when getting to know your Ls. How will you know if you know about their backgrounds and abilities? Some things you might ask are, what are your students' English language proficiency levels? Are you aware of your students' reading levels and comprehension abilities in their native language? Because this could be a great tool for you. Have you viewed the Access score report? Are you using all of this information to make modifications for your students? Do you communicate and collaborate with the ESL teacher? Are you aware of your students' educational history? Do they have any interrupted formal education? Asking and answering these questions will help you plan instruction for the English language learners in your class. To close, I'm going to show you a few images to reflect upon. You will be asked to write about your reactions and takeaways in the form of a digital exit ticket. This cartoon says, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. Clearly, it's going to be easier for some than others. This image touches upon the terms equity and equality. Equality is treating everyone the same. It promotes fairness, but it can only work if everyone starts from the same place and needs the same help. Here's another image of equality versus equity. Equity is giving everyone what they need to be successful. How can you incorporate the concept of equity versus equality in your classroom? To close, you will view this video and you will be provided with a link to write about your reactions in the digital exit ticket.